All right, everybody, Scott Pierce here. Going to go over just sold marketing, whether you're the listing agent or selling agent, and how to get at least another listing from it. So I'm excited. This is one of our core trainings. And, it's the whole idea of leveraging your best marketing asset you've got in the industry, right? Which is getting a property sold as either the selling or the listing agent. So even if you represented the buyer, this is so important because there is nothing that signals to the market that you are someone that they should talk to, as far as a homeowner in particular who wants to get their home sold. All right. You think about it, there's probably more people in the neighborhood thinking about selling or will be soon. There's more people around that are thinking about selling. And one of the main things that would get them to consider talking to you is hearing that you actually got a home sold or even that you got a home in contract. So that's why I love pending marketing. When I do pending marketing, we can talk about it where its contingencies removed, right? We don't want to market a pending listing too early. And then God forbid, right? Something happened. So when we talk about pending marketing, where it is that you're comfortable to actually start marketing that. Okay. But then just sold, right? Especially on top of pending, but even if it's by itself, just sold is where we really want to make sure that we are taking responsibility to increase the visibility, to make sure that we are talking about this just sold listing, not an email, right? Not just an email, not just a post, not just an ad, but that we're going to walk through today a 5-day Instagram story campaign. And you can actually take this and repeat it with different themes. And what I love about Instagram stories, especially for just sold, but just in general as well, is an Instagram story not only can have links and polls to engage people. So people see your Instagram story, there's a clickable link. All right. There's a poll that they can interact with. So we're going to talk about marketing that just sold property over multiple days with different call to actions, different links, different polls, different images of the property. But it also sits at the top of the Facebook wall. So as people are scrolling through Facebook on their phone, on their laptop, friends, followers, people connected accounts are going to see that Instagram story sitting there at the top of their Facebook page. So the Instagram story, I really, really love that. I'm going to show you some great examples as part of what we're doing today. But let me know who here, and again, my voice is still, uh, it's getting better, but my voice is still a little bit out. It actually went out over the weekend, and man, Saturday, Sunday, I could barely talk. It was so deep and grovelly. So it was kind of like I was going to catch a bad cold, but got a little bit of a cold feel, like kind of like a little nasally, obviously. So, anyways, if I seem a little bit off today, maybe I'm a little bit better. Who knows? But so again, someone go ahead and type in that you can see my screen, you can hear me talking. Let me know that you are getting what I am saying related to a just sold. So who has, give me a second here, I'm typing in. Who has a just sold listing? And let me know. Are you the listing agent? Are you the selling agent? I'm going to in fact, I put this link in a little bit earlier. If you're watching the recording, it may be in the description. And that is listings2leads.com/just sold. And here you can watch a recent recording. And one of the first things I recommend, right, and you can do this when the listing goes pending, see the training for that at /pending, is change the property description so that you are now talking to homeowners who are maybe thinking about selling at some point. Now, notice here, and you can literally click that link just like I did, open up the single property website, scroll down like I did, and copy and paste the part that you want. But I want you to see when I'm marketing this, it's going to be the neighbors. it's going to be predominantly, even the ads, the posts, the emails are going to be primarily focused towards homeowners who are thinking about selling their home. And so to the point, in my single property website, I'm going to change out the property description to now tell a little bit more of the story about what I did. So in this case here, I'm the listing agent. And so I put my 100-point home marketing plan for selling homes has gotten over 10,500 views for this home, right? I might actually add versus 783 on Zillow, right? A little compare and contrast. In addition, I've got 24 buyers actively looking for a home in the area. Some have been looking for months. Look at my database, check the MLS. How many people do I have set up on searches for that area? The problem is there's only one home, but thousands of potential buyers looking, including my 24 active buyers. So we're kind of getting into the golden letter idea. If you have a 3 to 4 bedroom home between 25 and 4,000 square feet, would you consider selling your home to one of my buyers? If so, what's your magic number to sell? And then it's a little, they can text or email. And they can also, I got a link to my home value landing page. So you can take this, don't copy my landing page. If you know how to add yours, you can do that. But at least copy this part, drop it into your single property website in the property description area. In fact, I will show you. When you log into Listings to Leads, all right, click Listings. And first of all, in fact, I had somebody this morning. She sent me a text. She goes, I just got a property sold. What do I do now? I'm like, all right, well, the first thing you do, I guess, is change the status, whether it's from active or pending, to just sold. Are you the just sold listing agent or are you the just sold selling agent? Now, if the listing was not in your account, you can always add it by going to, we don't import listings from sold listings from a data feed, but I definitely recommend it, right? Add listing manual, just sold selling agent, just sold listing agent. And we will adjust the language around the listing marketing based on were you representing the buyer or representing the seller, because obviously that language is going to be different, right? Just add the listing information, add one photo on the next page. So regardless of you changing the status to just sold listing or just sold selling or adding the listing, you're going to come back here and you're going to see I got just sold selling agent, just sold listing agent. And I've even got sold, maybe something from 3 or 4 months ago that I want to market. So I'm going to click market listing and view step-by-step guide. That is actually the same page that we were on a little bit earlier. So again, listingstoleads.com/just sold. That's where we looked at the listing agent. I've even got a version for the selling agent. So I can click on that, open it up, scroll down, and I can just copy and paste this or just look at it and write my own version, talking about how here I represented a buyer, right? And how we got the property, helped them get pre-approved, right? Looking at homes. Yeah. So awesome. So take a look at that. And again, that way, as people are looking at our marketing and they click through an e-flyer and they get to the property website, they click through an ad, they click through a post, right? Off a nearby homeowner letter, they scan the QR code or they send a text, they're going to land on that property website. So putting that story there around, how we helped get the property sold and that we got more buyers. And if you got a home for sale, but it's also going to attract some buyer leads because buyers are also, a lot of buyers like to work with listing agents, right? They're curious, well, what did it sell for? How long it was on the market for? Because they're trying to compare a little bit about what they're doing to buy a home. All right. So first things first, as far as taking action, let's go to Facebook and Instagram ad. Now, these ads, they're going to capture name, email, phone number, but they're also going to capture, I've already got one live. Let's go take a look at this one. They're going to capture a few other pieces of information. So check this out. And then we'll go back and do the ad, but let me show you what the ad looks like, what it captures, because what it captures will help you in your follow-up. So check this out. So here's the ad that we're going to do. 30 seconds. Click. What's your time frame to sell? So every lead will answer that. Curious what your home could sell for right now. This is awesome. So when you get the lead is going to say name, email, phone number, give you the information, but it's also going to say what's your time frame to sell, and it'll say what they put. Curious what your home could sell for right now, it'll say what they put. And then the third one, see what my 100-point home marketing plan does for your home. And it's either going to be yes, please, yes, and customize for my home, or not right now. I mean, I'm telling you, if you get somebody that says yes to that one, that is awesome. Name, email, phone number, continue. So you see, they've gone through like what, 6 clicks, 7, and they're going to land on the property website. All right. The nearby home values, or to get the free home value. And again, they're going to be looking through this and they see, oh, this is an agent with a 100-point home marketing plan. All right. Now I can read a little bit about what it was that you did. And that is awesome. But now keep in mind the questions in that lead form that we just went through. When you get your leads from the ads, you're going to want to make sure that you take a look at what they put down, because if they put down, yes, I'm curious about what my home could sell for right now, or yes, I'd like to see your 100+ point home marketing plan, you're going to want to get a hold of them. Obviously, you're going to want to get a hold of every lead. But now I can mention, right, when I'm following up with you, hey, Frank, this is Scott. And, you're taking a look at 694 Douglas that just sold. And I saw that you were curious about what your home could sell for right now. What is your property address? And I'll get that over to you as quickly as possible. So you cannot collect property address automatically through the Facebook lead form. So you have to do that after the fact. But it's great because now, instead of just getting name, email, and phone number, I'm getting more information with my leads. Does that make sense for everybody? I can tell when I talk too much, I'm getting a little bit short of breath. But anyways, let me know. So Jim, Doug, Ken, everybody else, let me know if that idea makes sense with the ads. And so now to create one, it's like all done for you. All right, it's got location pre-filled. You can edit this if you want. Very slight. I don't recommend editing it too much. The only kind of edit I would really make might be something like with multiple offers, or with our 100+ point home. Like if you get nothing else, just add with our 100+ point home marketing plan, right? Just give it a little bit of oomph. The images, right? Oh, I would for sure change the budget. You want to be about like really $15 a day. So that'd be like what, $105 for the week. Seller leads for just sold, some of my favorite seller leads, right? These are leads that are responding to something you actually did. So you are the listing agent, you are the selling agent in this case. So this is not just a get your home value or whatever. This is an ad for something you actively did. So you're going to have a story to tell when you communicate, reach out, follow up, have a conversation with these leads. So, lean into that and make sure you take advantage of that, because, you always say people want to work with winners, right? And so you're the winner with the best, most compelling story to the homeowners thinking about selling in that area in particular, but just, anyone thinking about selling in that general area. All right. And it's going to be our job to make sure we're at the right place at the right time, which again, it's not just about a post or an email. All right. That's not being at the right place at the right time. Budget, how much should I spend to get one closing per month? Jim, well, you just go through this. All right. How much did you budget? I mean, it depends. right? Are you gonna do mailings or are you gonna do door knocking? Right? Are you going to do the free stuff, the Instagram stories? Right? Are you going to get into the other things? Because could I give you a budget and just say, hey, give me the money, or is it like I'm going to go through and do both paid and free items? All right. So anyway, so that's the ad. Social media post. So now this will go to Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Google. It's a good post. All right. Will an automated post in and of itself generate a bunch of leads? No, but it's great for visibility, right? Staying in front of people. The other items that we're going to do, in particular the Instagram stories, are going to be hot. Those are going to be more leaning into the lead generation engagement. But this is still something that we definitely want to make sure that we do. So you can either post it now if it didn't auto post, you can schedule it. You can actually get in here, right? And say similar to what we did before. Or if I want to add any other, like a little fact about the sale, right? Absolutely. Right. And then either post or schedule now. And similar to the ads, they are going to link back to the single property website. So a lot of people I see will do a post. Oh, I just sold a property. And they have, a couple of pictures of the property, like a picture of a flyer, but there's no link available. So what I want you to do is I want you to do what you're doing. All right. But I also want you to, whether you do the social media post inside of listings to leads, or you grab the single property website link and post it directly, you want to do a post like this, because when I can get people to this right here, even better than your IDX, right? The lead captures for home value. We saw that. We've got a beautiful, not the right word, right? We got a compelling story for homeowners landing on this single property website. If you did tours, a video, all of that can be added. They can download your 100-point home marketing plan. So just like the ad and the e-flyer next and all the tools, they're leading people where they can engage and interact at a much higher level than pretty much anywhere else. Okay. So keep doing, if you're doing, the post with the owner with the key, all right, that's great. But add this into your mix as well. So you want to make sure that you're using these, because all those different kinds of posts all will do a little bit of a different thing for you. Request for review. So if you did not get a client review from them, you can even drop your Google link, right? So we use the Listings to Leads client review website, and I will show you. Let's see. So here's my client review website. And again, you can just send them directly to Google. So if you don't have a process for requesting reviews from both your buyers and your sellers, you can use this one right here. Now, some of the most, I think, important, certainly one of the top audiences is the seller sphere of influence between the neighbors, all right, the neighborhood around that listing, the seller leads already in my database, right, where I'm already talking to them. They're getting ready to either get into my pipeline or maybe they're already in my pipeline. But the next best audience right there with those two is a seller sphere of influence. And the more people that use this tool, the more they love it. All right. Even if you sold a property a couple of weeks ago, that's totally fine. Maybe it was a month ago. I think it's totally fine, because what we, as long as they're happy, all right. So as long as we can request a review from them, this is something that we want to make sure that we do. And so if you haven't done this yet, the green, send a seller, right? If it's already been done, this will already be here and it probably was already sent. And I'll walk you through the phone call that you should be making, just in case. Maybe you didn't make the phone call, you don't even know if they posted it, and you're missing one of the most golden opportunities. All right. Because between the promoting of you right on the post, all right, commenting, DMing opportunities, but linking back to the property website where we already walked through all the ways they can engage with it. These things, and there's the e-flyer. So, right, drop in their email and name if you haven't done that previously. If you did it for a previous, like when it was just listed or open house, all of this will be there and it was probably sent automatically. So you're not going to do this every status. Just do it once. And then from there on, every time I change the status, it'll go out automatically. And you want that to happen. And then you're going to get an email. It's going to look just like the email the seller gets. So you're going to get an email and you're going to go, oh, that looks really cool. That looks phenomenal. The email, right, the e-flyer and the social media post, they link right back to the property website. And even if you don't have video or 3D tours, you still want them here, right? They can download the guides, get a home value, engage with you in other ways. So we want them on that property website, but we also want them to see how we helped get somebody they know, how we helped them get their home sold, all right? Because they start liking it, they start commenting on it, right? We're going to be able to reply to comments as appropriate. For some of the people, it might be appropriate to DM them, right? But you got to read the room, read the comments. But this can be a phenomenal way to start engaging them. So here's the deal. You put in their name like I showed you. It's going to send 2 emails, right? An email for the social media post to you and an email for the social media post to the seller. Then it's going to send the e-flyer to you and the e-flyer to the seller. So you'll know exactly when the seller gets it. You need to call them up. It may hit their spam folder. It may hit their inbox. You just never know. Like if they're on Hotmail and they got like the crazy spam, anything can happen. Plus, they just get an email, right? So it's nice to follow that up with a quick phone call. And if it was just sold, right? You're going to already have a pretty good relationship with them. But I would just call and say, hey, Frank, hey, it's Scott. Dude, it was so awesome to work with you a couple of weeks back and get your property sold. I hope you're settled in now to the new place. Hey, I just sent you a couple of emails. I would absolutely love it if you could post those up to Facebook and share that via email so that we can let people know that homes are moving in the area. And they're going to totally do it for you. They're going to absolutely do it for you. Unless the transaction was bad. And hopefully, well, I shouldn't say hopefully, right? Everyone's different. But if you are friends with them on Facebook, make sure to go like the post, right? So after they post it, make sure and the email that they get, you're going to see it and it's going to look exactly the same as what they get. And it's just like all they do is they just copy and paste this into their Facebook page. All right. Hundreds of sellers do it every day. So yours will be good. And to be honest, even if they're older, right, and you don't think they're on Facebook or they got like 5 friends, I would still tell them to do it. I would still ask them to do it every little bit. And you never know where that next eyeball is going to come from because, right, we do want people to see it, even if it's on a small page while it's for sale, right? Because somebody knows somebody else and everything in the whole 9 yards. But even if it's just sold, I would still do it. All right. So get these 2 tools out the door. They're free. They're awesome. Right? They make you look great. Oh, let me show you something. So e-flyer for the seller's sphere of influence. Yeah, all right. So it's perfect. Next up, nearby homeowner letter. So we talked a little bit earlier. All right. When you sell a listing, the neighbors are ground zero. And there's probably a couple of them thinking about selling. Now, my goal is to try and be the first person that they think of when they're actually going to pull the trigger, right, and reach out to somebody. So I could mail this. And a lot of this, think about it. When I've got 3 or 4 sold listings at a time, and I'm doing a lot of this marketing, I don't need to do as much for each sold listing as I might if I've only got 1 or 2 at a time, or intermittently, right? Randomly, in a sense. So, for the nearby homeowner letter, uh, you can mail them, right? You can literally mail them from listings to leads, or you can download it. They're fully editable. I wouldn't edit it too much just because uh, I've noticed the more people edit these, the less effective they are. And right, in our general training, we talk about doing this a couple of times during the course of a listing. One of our clients, Corey Smallman, God, for over 5 years, he's been, Dustin Fox did, amazing with these. They're phenomenal for an open house invitation to the neighbors. They're phenomenal for like a just listed notification. We got postcards and door hangers that are awesome as well. But this letter works phenomenal. And again, the most compelling message as a homeowner that I could hear from an agent if I'm starting to think about selling is I sold your neighbor's home. So, how invested in that do we want to get, right? Do we have more time than money, right? Are we looking to fill up our listing pipeline? Then I might go door knocking with these. I might just print up 100 copies, go door knocking, right? Take a little bag so I can put it on the door if they're not home, right? Just tri-fold it, right? Just tri-fold it, put it in a bag if they're not home. But if I've got, multiple sold listings at a time, a lot of people mail these. So again, you can download this and mail it through Thanks.io. You could mail it through Mailbox Power, right? You could add a dynamic QR code in a program like Mailbox Power or Thanks.io. And that way, when the homeowner scans a QR code, you get notified right away who scanned it. People get listings from that all the time. So this is a phenomenal letter. And if you're going to mail a letter, right? How many of you are here? Yeah, so mailings and calling. Yeah, that's what we're talking about right now. So perfect timing. Although you made the comment 10 minutes ago, I apologize for not seeing it. What was I going to say? Most people, anywhere from 100 to 300, depending on the neighborhood, depending on how many they're sending out with other listings. But I would say 100 minimum, right? And then 300. By the time you get to just sold, all right, you kind of run out of that campaign. And when I say campaign, I prefer if you've got either as just listed or open house. So if you're going to do an open house for listing, I recommend sending out 1 to 300. And then if you got the ability when it's pending, and then again when it's just sold, because between the open house, pending, and just sold, you're probably looking at least 21-day intervals. And you can always do it, right? Just because I sell a house today doesn't mean the postcard has to go out today. I can send the postcard out a week or two later if I just had another postcard go out to that same list. All right. Hopefully this all makes sense, because what I'm talking about is, making sure when we market listings, especially where we're the listing agent, make sure we're doing it as part of a campaign. All right. Because the more they see this letter, the better it is. All right. So that's the neighborhood homeowner letter. And again, I can door knock it. I can print and mail it. We got postcards and door hangers. And these are awesome. So we got EDDM, we got jumbo, we got standard. The front's going to have a QR code, the domain, and the text code. So right there's the front, right? The image of the home, very stylish, beautiful. I love it. I get the worst postcards, right? They're almost like tacky in a sense. Like, are you selling? I mean, if you want to do a branding postcard, that's fine. But if you're trying to tell me about the fact that you got a property sold, right, and then splattering your picture all over it, I mean, it's fine. But something like this is also something you should be taking a look at, right? Focus on the property. Great call to action, either with the QR code or the text code, right? Then we show the domain, right? Street address.thebestlisting.com. The domain is great for getting their engagement. And then on the back of the postcard, your home's value has been affected by this home being sold. They can go to the domain or they can send a text. And if you haven't tried this yet, you should. 18 so here I can text 182141 to 888-264-1910, and it does an automated conversation. You would then take that information and you can just drop it right in here and have it sent automatically. All right. So postcards, door hangers. But the point is making sure we get into that neighborhood. All right. There's going to be 2 to 3 more listings coming out of that neighborhood, most likely. Right. Take a look at the inventory turnover. Right. Take a look at the turnover and see, right, how many listings usually come up in this neighborhood in a year. We're halfway through the year. So divide it by half, and then figure you want to get at least half of that business. And being the most recent, right, or one of the more recent agents with the sale, you've got just as much claim as anybody else. All right, you do. You've got as much claim as anybody else. Even the person that's been mailing it for 2 years, you have got much claim to that business based on your actions and activities. Now it's just making sure that we are getting in front of these people. All right. And, circle prospecting is an absolute something I would recommend. I know agents that are getting a listing a week that still make phone calls, 200 calls a week, and they've got an assistant that makes another 200 calls. So even agents where they're getting a listing a week, so they're doing expireds with us, right? They use listings to lead to market, do all the things that we talk about, and they literally circle prospect their listings. So this is something, if you are doing our expired training, I'm going to put this link in. So when we do our expired training, we recommend My Plus Leads, but you can use anybody. Hold on, I'm gonna put this into the chat. Now this is related to expireds and FSBOs more, but My Plus Leads also, right? It's a free 30-day trial, and you may have Mojo, Vulcan 7, whatever. Perfect. You don't need this, but this is a CRM, listings to leads, and a program like this are all you need, right? You don't need literally anything else to just blow up your business. All right. A CRM, listings to leads, and a service like this. Why a service like this? Well, because I can get all the expired FSBO data. I can start getting a listing a week from that period. All right. If you follow our training for expireds, right, that's separate. But you'll notice, right, they got to upgrade to where I can get neighborhood premium, real-time, likely to list data. And is it a silver bullet? No. Right? Is it always perfect? No. But what it does let you do is pull a list, mail the nearby homeowner letter or door knock that list, and then follow it up with a phone call. Again, top agents, right? This like listing agent, assistant, or a team member, and then kind of a, I don't want to say lower assistant. That's not the right way to put it, but you know what I mean? So here we go. A licensed assistant and an unlicensed assistant, and a transaction coordinator. So he's got people around him, and I know other people like this as well, but they still make the phone calls. All right. They still make the phone calls. So call those neighbors. All right. Again, look at the inventory turnover. Think of even if it's only 2 to 3 listings, right? You should be able to at least get 1 or 2 of those listings if you are visible to them via social media, email, whatever it is. And we're going through all of it, right? We're going through all of it. And at the end of this, I'm going to show you there's 3 distinct funnels. So I can do 3 ads, 3 emails, 3 posts, in addition to all the Instagram stories. So you're going to get so much visibility through going through this list right here, but only if you do it. All right. So circle prospect these people. All right. You just got a home, whether you're the buyer's agent or the seller's agent, right? The listing agent, you got a home sold. And now we want to put that in front of these people because someone, if they're, if God forbid, nobody's thinking about selling, then maybe no one's going to be interested. But if we can make that call, even if it's to leave a voicemail to the 2 or 3 people that are starting to think about selling, and then they see our ad, right? They actually see the letter or the postcard, right? They see a post from the seller. And one more thing, back to the seller post. Remember the social media post for the seller back up here? Uh, don't forget to ask them to put it in the Facebook neighborhood group or Nextdoor. So if they're on Nextdoor, and I always say this in the training, we do open house and just listed. But hey, when that listing is pending and sold, don't forget to ask the seller, hey, don't forget to put it in the neighborhood groups. I know some people in there would love to see that. All right. I'm sure they haven't been kicked out yet. All right. Some neighborhood groups may be a little bit more serious than others. And that can be their goodbye to the neighborhood group. All right. But anyways, circle prospecting. Yeah, make sure that you do it. All right. Easy script. Very, very powerful. Next up, e-flyer for your database. This is so awesome. Check this out. So it'll have the property address and it will say just sold. But check this out. If you're thinking about selling your home, my 100 plus point marketing plan helped get this home sold, and it can do the same for your home. Boom. They click it. It goes to your branded marketing plan automatically. Like literally, even if you just signed up for an account today, that would be there. As long as you uploaded your profile photo, put your company logo, right? Boom. Then it goes to it doesn't go to Google Street View. Oh my God. So I get so many e-flyers from agents, and you can tell they spent time on them, right? You can tell they spent time on them, and you click the address and it goes to Zillow. Half the time it doesn't go anywhere. Half the time it's just the photo, right? Pops up right here. Look at that beautiful slideshow. Boom. Right to and look at this, right? When we set things up properly, when we think about the end, the beginning, and everything in between, and we actually go through the steps of making sure, because I did the first step of changing the property description. Now, if I want to keep the actual property description below this, so where I don't delete the entire property description I had for the buyers, I can put that below and just put this on top, right? Go ahead and copy and paste that, edit it into your own language, right? So it makes sense. But because I did that, now all of these people through all of my marketing are now landing and they're seeing that. And so to send this through, in fact, let me bring up I got to go high level. Give me a second. I always forget to bring it up. So let me grab it and I'm going to go contacts. I'm on my other monitor. So I'm going to bring up a contact. All right. Just so I can show you this e-flyer for your database. So you can send this through listings to leads. Oh, and then I didn't show you below. Your home's value has been affected by this home being sold. Click, and they go to this landing page. So this e-flyer is so powerful. You don't want to be sending this message via IDX, all right? You don't want to send this up as a listing alert. You want it coming from you. And between showing off your 100-point home marketing plan, beautiful slideshow, it'll take the first 5 photos. So if you want to rearrange your photos, all right, it'll take the first 5 photos in the photo section for the listing. So you can rearrange them, and then it will show. I always like to do front of the home, kitchen, living room, maybe a primary bedroom or another feature, and then the backyard. So that way they get like a little mini tour, and it makes them more compelled to click through and get to the property website. All right, now to send it through listings to lead to all of your leads that you've generated, right? Buyer leads. I can also pick this listing specifically and say, you know what, just send it to the leads for this one, or send it to all my seller leads or all of my leads. I would send it to all of my leads. As I talked about earlier, obviously the homeowners, obviously Soon to be sellers are going to be very engaged, but also home buyers. Because as I mentioned earlier, if I'm a home buyer and I'm thinking about, getting serious about, whether starting to go look or make offers, I'm going to be curious. Well, what did the last buyer buy? Well, because that's the corollary to the seller getting the home sold. Well, a buyer just bought something. Oh, what did they buy? How much did it cost them? Right? What does that look like compared to what we're looking at? Does that make sense? So we're not specifically going for buyers per se, but buyers are definitely going to be looking at our marketing. Now, if I want to send this through my CRM, check this out. You can do one of two things. You can just click in here and copy, like literally just copy it. Go to your CRM and then paste it in. Now, I wouldn't send it to just one person, but you can see here, everything looks great. The slideshow. Here, so we got the slideshow, and I can edit it. Right, look at that, beautiful. So I would drop that into my CRM and then send it to all of my leads in my CRM. That would be one of the first things I do after this call. Right. And it's also easy, super easy, super easy. And then we got a database call script. So you need to be calling through your database. We all know we need to be calling through a database, right? That's not rocket science. You're not telling me nothing I haven't heard from, every person on Facebook. This is a great script. And again, you just did one of the best things possible. I would go through homeowners in the area. All right. Now you had a circle prospecting script. So when we're in My Plus Leads or another service, we pull a list, right? And this is best practices. Pull a list, we mail the list, and then 3 to 4 days later, we call through that same list, right? With the script, because that way they saw the letter, postcard, or door hanger, and then now they hear from us. So powerful. So in your database, you're going to have homeowners. Now, some of them, again, may have been in the circle prospecting list, so don't call them again. But you're going to have people in your database that are around that area. So I would start with them, right? I would just pull, if it was a listing in Folsom, all of your homeowners, all of your seller leads in Folsom, I would call them up. All right, again, just double check that they weren't on the circle prospecting. You'll probably recognize if they were. And then call the people in your database. It's a great call, even if you're just leaving a quick voicemail. Highly recommend the voicemail. I was thinking of a voicemail as like a little seed, right? I don't expect anything from it right now, but I know if I just keep at it, that seed is going to grow. So maybe they delete it, the first 10 voicemails. And then they finally go like, all right, what the hell is he calling about now? So if I can just leave a quick voicemail, I'm going to definitely do that, because I know consistency versus trying to be perfect and wait till they get on the line. So it's, hi, Frank, Scott here at XYZ Realty. I want to let you know that 1015 Raleigh Street just sold. I sent an email with the link to the property website if you wanted to check it out. You can also send a text, all right, to get all the photos, price, and details. Now, if they own a home near the farm or near that listing, that's one thing. But let's say they own a home not near the listing, right? So then I would say, and again, even as a voicemail, I don't know if you're interested, but I do free CMAs for all of my clients and VIPs. I know you're not looking to sell right now, right? Make them feel comfortable. I'm not trying to sell you, but I am trying to do what? I am trying to be able to make an offer of value and actually deliver it so that I can stay in contact at a higher level. So I know you're not thinking about selling right now, but I'd love to do one for you to keep tabs on what your home is doing month over month. It also gives me ability to know more about what's happening in the market. So we're just letting them know, hey, I'd like to do this for you. It's great for me to be able to do it. And I might just, as you're looking at that contact in your database, if it seems like a good property and you want to go the extra mile, I might just say, because I'm looking at my database, I see the phone number, I'm calling it. I see their email address. I see their home address. I might just say, I'm going to do one for you, and I'll send it to scott@listingstaleads.com. Let me know if you'd prefer another email, and just do it. Just pick a couple every week to add to that list. All right. Now, I'll show you real quickly here under landing pages. Check this out. If I add somebody, now you may have cloud CMA or whatever, but if I add somebody to this landing page, right, put in the property address form, they're going to get an updated email every first week of the month going forward. So today is what, the 23rd? So if I did this today for somebody, they would get an email, right? They're going to get an email with, so I'll put their name, email, and phone number like it is in the CRM. And then they're going to get a home value email right then. And then they're going to get one the first week of every month. And you can try yourself, check it out, see what you think. But that's a great thing to be able to offer people. And maybe the first one that you do, maybe you do one that's a little extra. All right. So they can try to maybe encourage a conversation a little bit more. All right. Does that make sense? But we're not calling, hey, can I do a home value estimate for you? All right. That's like a little out of left field. So if we call with a market activity, in particular one that we were related to, and oh, by the way, kind of a little bit of that Columbo close. Oh, by the way, right? I don't know if you're interested. I know you're not thinking about selling. I know you're not selling anytime soon. Right. So it takes away that pressure of me, you thinking I'm going to sell you. Right. And then offer value and deliver it. Right. Easy. How many of you, tell me, once your property closes escrow, so just sold, are you able to keep a yard sign in the yard? No, I know you could if you're going to do a seller rent back, obviously. But 99 out of 100 times, when that escrow closes, the seller's gone, the yard sign's gone. And the only reason I mention it is, yard signs are so valuable. They're so important. They can generate some of the best quality leads. And so we do, in our pending training, make sure you use the sign writers, right? And you got pending on the top. Make sure you do that, because that is such a phenomenal way to generate, especially seller leads. If you got the ability to do it while the property is just sold, definitely do that as well. And so I know I got it just sold somewhere, but like, see this right here, sale pending. I want to make sure I got that on my yard sign. And if I got the listing flyers, so powerful. All right. I want to get to the 5-story Instagram. All right. Perfect timing. Before I do, one last thing here. So again, right, Jim, you're talking about, budgeting. Do a short form video. Go to the property, get in front of the property, record a video. These are the free things that we do, right? In addition to the posts and the stories and the reels, this is just one more thing, right? To put you in front of that property. Because when people are going through Instagram stories or TikTok or a reel, or they're on Facebook, right? We want to make sure we got as many things as possible out there for them. Now, check this out. We just went through social media, email, database, the farm. You can get multiple listings from any one of those three, let alone all three of those sections, combined. A little bit earlier, I put a link to our school classroom in the chat. I want you to get there and click on classroom and pending just sold. We have walked through one funnel, right? It's the default funnel in listings to leads. Home values have changed. So you saw in all that language, it was 123 Main Street just sold. Home, area home values have changed. Click below to get an updated home value estimate now. Now, all of those tools were reflecting that call to action, that funnel. There's two other really great funnels that you can leverage. And what I recommend that you do, and you do it for pending and you do it for just sold, where you get in here and there's the golden letter version. So funnel number 2 is that we have more buyers, right? Golden letter. And you take that language, all right? Now you see, no, look at that: ad, post, email to the database, nearby homeowner letter, circle prospecting script, short form video script, short form video. I'm giving you 3 distinct funnels for every just sold listing, so that we are not taking the best marketing asset we've got and, throwing it up against the wind, right, with a post or two and an email and hoping that somehow that brings in more business, right? That's a great start. But again, is it the homeowner's responsibility to be on Facebook or Instagram or checking their email when you want them to? Or is it your responsibility to be in front of them, right, when they're ready? All right. I think we'd all argue, we'd realize expecting the homeowner to find us is not really going to happen. All right. So it is up to us to be dropping these things and extending the marketing mileage that we get from something like a sold listing. Does that make sense? Give me a yes or a no if that makes sense. Now, that would precipitate, of course, that you realize, and you agree with me when I said earlier, a just sold listing is one of the best marketing assets you have. And 99% of the agents completely do not leverage it, even half of what they should. Not even half. Now, for the golden letter, right? So we walked through funnel number 1, funnel number 2, right? We have more buyers, golden letter. You can just take that and then just edit, right? Everything in listings to leads can be edited, all that text, and just edit it to be appropriate for you. Because now I'm going to have another ad next week talking about, instead of the default ad the way it was, now that ad is going to be different. It's going to be, and I've still got 8 buyers actively looking to buy a home in Folsom. What price would it make it worth taking a look at an offer for your home? If you own a 3 to 4 bedroom home in Folsom, tap learn more. Tell me your magic number. Even a range is fine. No pressure or obligation. I just changed Folsom to Baton Rouge, 145 Main Street to 463 Gold, right? Change 8 to whatever your number is. If you want to take out the word actively looking, right? You got 8 people in an IDX search. I got 8 people looking at homes in Folsom. All right. What are we doing? We are leveraging again the fact that we got a home sold, but we're also putting, right, great messages out into social media, to our email, all right, to the farm. I could literally, and you will see here, nearby homeowner letter, right? I can take that nearby homeowner letter and just edit the bottom of it, right? So the nearby homeowner letter, so if I wanted to go door knock, if it's a great neighborhood and it's a nice day out, right? And I'm looking for something to do to get some engagement going, I might go door knock with this. Hi, my name is Scott Pierce at XYZ Realty. I just sold 123 Main Street right around the corner. And I'm just letting everybody know that it just sold recently and that we got more buyers looking for a home, right? Beautiful. Beautiful. And we can take that same message, social media post, an email to our database, right? A week later, they're not going to remember what you sent a week ago, but there's something in their head. They're going to go, oh, I saw a post. I saw an email. I saw an ad, right? I saw all of this stuff. And now maybe the first week they saw it, they were like, oh, that's awesome that Sean got a listing sold. Oh, my home value's changed. But, it doesn't motivate them. Then the next week they see this message as an ad or a post or an email. And they go, oh, he's got more buyers. All right. So maybe they now kind of remember something about, home values, more buyers. And then the third week is the 100-point home marketing plan funnel. All right. So it goes from 123 Main Street just sold, your home value has changed. 123 Main Street sold, we still have more buyers. What's your magic number? 123 Main Street just sold. Our 100-point home marketing plan got this home 10,000 views versus 789 on Zillow. So when the property is sold, you can go to Zillow and you can see how many views it got. Then you can go, whether it's your IDX, listings to leads, put them together. An average ad is 2,000 views, anywhere from 18 to 2,400. So if you do one ad for $35, which is like the bare minimum, all right. Well, so if I do, for example, just listed $35, that's 2,000 views roughly. All right. You do just listed open house, maybe now that's 4,000 to 5,000 views. And then you compare and contrast that to the one website they know. All right. That's the third funnel. And then it's our 100-point home marketing plan. And we're making an offer for them to get a copy, right, of this, whether we customize it for their home or we just give them the general version. Make sense? So does everybody get that? And I still got to go through the stories. I still got to go through Instagram stories. So if you want to give me a few minutes, let me know if all this makes sense though, because I'm telling you, if you can increase your visibility, if you can increase the number of people that are associating you with properties getting sold and like seeing, right, actually seeing one, not just I'm a top producer, right, but actually seeing it. And then we surround that core message, right, over a period of 3 weeks with each one of those marketing messages. All right. Now it's like greater than 2 + 2 + 2 = 6. It's like 2 + 2 + 2 = 10. All right. Now, the last thing we're going to cover here for a few minutes, and I'm going to give you all this link. Anyone with the link can view, copy link. I'm going to put this into the chat. You may have to request access to it. And when I give it to you, it is 5 days for a just sold listing as an Instagram story. I give you examples. I give you like a 7-minute video on how to do this if you don't know how to do it. I give you the story setup, the link to use, where to find the link, the poll. You got everything. And then you got all these examples as well. So these are all Instagram stories. Now remember, what does an Instagram story do other than allow people to click a link that you can add to get a home value estimate right from the Instagram story? All right. They can download your 100-point home marketing plan. All right. Do you think these types of messages would be relevant and engaging to a certain percentage of homeowners and soon to be sellers? What do you think? If someone is a homeowner in the area and they see pending in Rockland, just sold in Rockland, click for photos, details, and more, a certain number of them are going to click on that. It's going to help the algorithm for you. All right. It's going to help your algorithm because you're going to be posting more. You're going to be posting content that can actually move the needle. I mean, auto posting random stuff, great. But actually posting your solds using different call to actions, different links. And I've got the entire write-up for you, but also got these great examples, right? Here's to a PDF guide, right? Just sold in Folsom, right? Free guide, home seller negotiation secrets. And then there's a poll, thinking about selling your home. People can tap and I'll get a list of everybody that taps. So I can DM them directly from Instagram, anyone that votes. And then if they click the link, right on the phone, they just kind of tap the screen and they go to the landing page where they can download the guide. another home sold. And then here, this is, of course, a video clip, Instagram story. So it sits at the top of Facebook as well. So that's what I love about Instagram stories. Not only can I put a link, a poll, I can use images, I can use video clips, but they sit at the top of Facebook. So my connected audience, all right, my friends, right, connected accounts are going to see this right sitting there at the top of Facebook. And then they can click right in the story and go to wherever I want to send them. And so back at that sheet I just shared with you, here's the how-to video. Click on that and that'll pop up the video. And then below, day 1, promote your marketing plan. Link, listing presentation flipbook. All right. And I should say link agent website, because that is agent, but they're going to download the 100-point marketing plan. All right. Poll, this Folsom home sold in 24 hours. So I should really change that. I did that actually for a client I was working with that did this. So, just put this Folsom. In fact, what I'll do a little bit later, I will get the ones I did on Instagram and put them in here. But if these work for you, right? And he actually sold it like in 24 hours. All right. Or just sold in Folsom. Day 2, showcase the sold listing, right? The property website. And then also I'll also tell you how to find it. So on the listings tab, just click view for the listing, right? That should be one of the more obvious ones for everybody. Day 3, seller education, link how to sell your home in a changing market PDF guide. You can use any seller guide, right? And I just tell you how to find it. Go to the PDF guide tab and just find the PDF guide that you want to use, right? You have the landing page link is right there. Day 4, home value leads. So we're going to link to the home value landing page. And again, I tell you how to find it. It's just right there in the landing page tab. And I give you the poll below it with responses. And then day 5, find sellers considering a sale for the cash offer landing page. And I give you a poll right here. And just use different images of the property. You can use different templates. You could use an image of the front of the house for Monday, the kitchen on Tuesday, the dining room on Wednesday, a primary bedroom or feature on Thursday, the backyard on Friday, right? You could create different mishmashes or templates. You can get different templates from listings to leads. Like you literally could, if I go to social media post, right? If I go here, I can also do this under ads, right? I can say, show me the kind of more square version or the one more for Facebook, right? And I probably want the one for Instagram. I want this version, but I can download and I can edit this a little bit. So if you don't want to use Canva, right? I would download this, right? Like that's going to be my Monday image. And if you got like a little video clips, you saw the one I did on TikTok and also Instagram. That was just like a 10-second video clip walking through the property. All right. It was not and that's why the short form video script where it's us being recorded, but with the Instagram story there, that was just like a 10-second video clip walking from the main, like the entryway in towards the kitchen. All right. I can download this version. I can change the color, change the text. So I can download like 4 or 5 different templates here if I want to. And that way gives it just a little bit of a different look each day. All right. So again, your visibility the ease of which for people to be able to find you is absolutely your responsibility. Right? You cannot, hope in a prayer that people are going to find you. So take advantage of all of these funnels that we got. Take advantage of the tools that we got for you, and don't just sit there and let one of the best marketing assets you've got go to waste. All right. So with that, thank you everybody for joining us. If nobody's got anything for me, I'll let you go. The recording will be on the same link normally, or will be on our YouTube channel. You can just go to YouTube, go to live or playlist current webinars. You can find all of our current webinars there as well. All right. Glad my voice held up. We'll talk to y'all soon.